Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today is going to be an interesting topic, yes. So, guys, make sure to stay till the end of this podcast. Today, we'll be talking about, how to reduce stress, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, how to find the balance in life, how to navigate that path. And joining me in this conversation, I have Tiffany and Akoma. So, my beautiful guests, kindly introduce yourself to our followers.
Okay, so my name is Tiffany. I'm many things actually. So let's just say I'm a creative, a law student, a singer, all this creative stuff, yes. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, what about you, Akoma?
Hi, Delis. My name is Akoma. I'm also a content creator. I'm also in the creative space as well.
Nice. You guys are so welcome to this space.
Thank you.
So we are going to be talking about stress. So how has it been so far, in this month, dealing with stress and feeling overwhelmed? Have you started feeling that?
Certainly, I already feel overwhelmed, but one thing I do is I take every day one step at a time because I tend to overthink a lot and I realize that doesn't help me. So I'm trying to cut down my overthinking self and just be in the moment. Yes, be present in the moment.
We'll go into that in depth, right? What about you?
So I'm a home tutor as well. I didn't mention that. I teach English.
Ooh.
And in
Those who understand
this
English.
year, right? I got a lot of recommendations, and so my schedule is really packed, and I felt that stress because I'm combining it with school, and it just there's some. So today I heard something about positive stress and negative stress, and I was saying I didn't even know about these two terms, but I guess that there are some things that happen in our lives that we cannot, we cannot control, like working, like going to school. There are some things there are some places you want to achieve. There are some things you want to do, some places you want to get to in life. And so there are some things you have to do at all costs, right? So I've had myself juggling through that space this year, really, because you have to go to school and then you have to work and you're just trying to find the balance. But I think I'm still getting there.
Okay, so you said something about positive stress and negative stress. And
Right.
my point is that stress is stress. Stress
All
is
stress is
negative.
stress.
So if you can touch on that a bit, it will be really
Okay,
cool.
so when I looked, so we were having a discussion earlier before, we came. And it's positive stress really is that stress that you can't do away with. Like doing a job, if you're a mother, taking care of your children, running the home. Negative stress is that stress that, honestly, if you could deal with it, you would, like a bad relationship, like something that's honestly just stealing your peace, stealing your mental stability. But it's just something you can honestly do away with. But it's happening to you at that point. So there's nothing you can do about it, something like that. So those are the negative things, and then the positive are those that you can't do away with. They are things that you must find a way to, navigate.
Yeah, so are you saying stress is something we must welcome, or
Well, come on, what do you think?
I don't think stress is something
the
you
way you
can
threw it
welcome,
to
but
her.
then I think you live with it some way, somehow. You can't run away from stress because it will find you. You can't run away from it. What you can do is you can curb some of the situations if need be. So say, like she mentioned, a stressful relationship, you can get away with it. You can you can break up if you know that. That's what the Bible says. That's what you should do. You shouldn't let it affect your mental health. You as an individual, you need to build yourself. And if you realize that that's going to harm you, and it's not that hard.
so wait, we are going to it's not what?
It's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard.
Hey, we have
you
had
know,
girls
you know the
nowadays,
thing is
so-
affecting you and you're still in it.
sometimes it's easier
stressful.
said than done.
I
though.
totally
Yes.
understand that. I totally understand that. But where it gets to, for you to think about it, ponder over it day and night, I don't think it's worth your mental health, honestly. You should just let it go. It's going to be painful. It's going to take a toll on you, but it's worth letting it go. That's
So,
what
for
I'm saying.
example, stress at work.
Oh, stress at work, that's a tough one because you're there for the money and you're there for the security. You have dependents. There are so many factors that come into play. So that's a tough decision, but you have to take it by the horn. Yes. If you want to quit, I think you have to have a safe exit strategy. You can't just up and leave let's say maybe you have family taking care of you, then you can just move. But then if you have a job that doesn't permit you to look elsewhere, that means you have to be very strategic. Maybe during your break time, your lunch break, you can just go look for opportunities on LinkedIn or just do some research. And if you see any opportunity that you're interested in, just hop on it. You never know. And never put your eggs in one basket. That's what I always do. Never do that. Because you never know what your employer is thinking at the time, or when there'll be layoff, staff layoff or something of the sort. Yeah.
So what would you say are your triggers to feeling overwhelmed and stressed?
Life itself is overwhelming, but what I would say is the vision I have for myself, it's sometimes I'm like, can I really do this?
It's too big, eh?
Vision is so I'm not even going to lie, vision is so bad. The fact that I have God in my life, I know that I can achieve everything, but I just take one step at a time. But sometimes too, it's good to speak with people, speak with friends, loved ones, or someone in high authority that has can give you good counsel.
Yeah.
So once you do that, I'm able to reduce the stress a bit. Yes.
So your trigger is you have what's your trigger? As in,
my trigger is procrastinating and being a perfectionist. Yes, these two.
Bad combination.
It's terrible. I just want things done a particular way.
Perfect combi or something, but this is bad because you're a procrastinator and a perfectionist.
Yes. So it's terrible. I don't know how I do it, but I make sure that I get it done. That's one thing. I will get it done. Because when you close your eyes and you see that, this is what I want to get to, you have to get it done. There's no shortcuts. For me, there's no shortcut. I have to get there. So I have to follow the legal route. Yeah. So that's
what about you too?
Then I think I'll just say that it's a thing with creatives, because I can identify or relate with what she just said, the procrastination bits and the perfectionist tendencies, right? Because honestly, there's so much to do, especially when you are very multi-talented or multifaceted. It's like you have different sides of your life that need attention, and maybe you're not spending as much time on those sides, and it gets overwhelming. It just feels so stressful. It's almost like you're sacrificing too much because you're focusing on one aspect and you're neglecting the rest. So for me, it has been that. But I think this year I'm leaning more towards planning, more towards taking time away to, focus on the things that, my life is made up of. Because you can get stuck in this rat race of doing life, and then you lose sight of the other things that you can actually do. And then you get stressed because you just feel in your heart that there's so much I can do, but I don't have the time to do it. So planning is actually very, very helpful. You travel, take a trip, just unwind. So for me, I do that sometimes. Just take a trip because, it gives you time to just reflect and look at your life. So for me, yes, the same thing. It will be procrastinating and too much of, perfectionist stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. But for me, I think mine is knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no.
That's very tough.
Yes, it is very tough because sometimes you can do this thing, right? And I think that's what a lot of people also struggle with. Sometimes you can do it, but the honest truth is that your plate is actually full. And so knowing when to say yes, that makes me very, very stressed, because you take on something with excitement and stuff, and then you realize that actually this is not fitting into my it's not. So that's actually my trigger. So let's talk about the fear of not being busy, because some people say that, you are supposed to, you go on IG and then you see certain motivation quotes and you're like, the Steve Jobs and those people wake up at...
to perspire.
Oh my God, sometimes it can be so burdensome. So let's talk about that fear. Do you always have to be productive? Do you always have to be productive in life? How does that also relate to feeling stressed? Because, you're doing something, right? So why are you still stressed?
Did you go first?
Who would want to go?
Okay. So I think with productivity, right, you don't have to overwork yourself, because you can be burnt out real quick. So what I tend to do is I take things pretty easy and not take on more than I can chew or I can carry. So I'm stuck. Take more than I can carry. So I just take it one day at a time. If I know I can't do it, I'll just like I said, postpone it, procrastinate till like the ideas come, because sometimes I really don't know. You just have to live in the moment. That's for me. It gets better with time. I just try and improve myself, and that works for me. I don't know about
I think
this.
burnout is really real. You know, when you get to that point where you just can't do anything.
Yeah. And there are different types. We have the physical, we have the mental.
Okay.
And the mental is,
Okay.
sometimes I honestly just want to lay in bed and do nothing. Just be off my phone, just be in bed, or maybe just go by the beach and relax. And one time, things I tend to do often is I go off social media. So I have like a social media detox. It's I just go off social media because sometimes I feel like there's so much information overload. This is someone is saying this, everyone is saying this. It gets so confusing. So I just take a few weeks or a few days or a few months off social media and just relax, think about myself, strategize, and just be a better version of myself. So that's what I do, in terms of productivity.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, when you asked the question, what came to mind was, honestly, how do we test or how do we mark productivity? Because I feel like sometimes even resting is a productive act. If you're tired and you're burnt out and you want to take a break from something, I think it's productive to take a rest.
Yeah.
Because your body needs that. You need to refuel, or you need to come back stronger. So if you're at a point in your life where you feel like you really need to take a break, take it. Because I'm sure lots of people have a lot of demand. They place a lot of demand on people. It's almost like you have to be doing something at every point. If you started something, finish it. If this. But if you started something and you feel like at this point, I'm getting to a place where I'm no longer productive, I'm not giving it my best shot anymore, you should be able to take a step back, take a break. And I think that's also productivity. So the test of productivity is not in the activity that you're doing. It's just in how able you are to really effectively carry out what you're doing. So if you need to take a break, take it so that you can come back stronger and do what you have to do.
So I think you guys have really touched on things like on the next question I was going to ask, which is how do we reduce our stress level, especially in this month? Because 2024, everyone is pumped and everybody wants to kill their vision board. So how do you deal with that stress? How do you find the balance? Do you think finding balance is just an imagination or an illusion? How do we deal with that?
To be honest, we've not even spoken about emotional stress, really.
Okay.
That's true.
That's But I feel like our emotions are always unpredictable and you always be stressed.
Always stressed.
Yeah.
But
talking about emotional stress is even stressful.
I feel honestly we underestimate the power of community. Finding people who love you, who really have your back, who can listen, who can be a source of support. Because I remember a time in my life when I was going through a terrible emotional time, right? And then I started opening up to certain people about it. And the release it brought me, I couldn't even believe that it was possible. Because it's like sometimes when you're going through something, you have your mind on the situation. It's like it's so huge, it's so big, and you feel overwhelmed. Then you talk to someone about it and they just poke a pin in your balloon of huge problems, and it's like it looks so small, and they're like, it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as it looks. So I feel when it comes to these things, stress, feeling overwhelmed, I think the power of community can never be underestimated. We should lean more into that. And I know sometimes it gets difficult because there are some people who are not really your people.
Yeah.
And you tell them your stuff, and next thing you know is on for concert TV.
It's on the grams all over.
The headline. So you have to be discerning about that. But I feel community is a big, it makes a difference. It makes a lot of difference. And I said that they are planning. I think that works. Also taking a break. I'm big on breaks. I even want to take one big break.
Easy.
I tell people that this is what I want to do, they're like, oh no, don't take the break. And I'm like, you don't know why I'm taking this break. It's a needful break.
Yeah.
But I think talking about the breaks, I think one thing that most companies should employ is having like a sleep room, because
I know.
our work
See,
and no play, make
I've
jacket, we
struggled.
tire. Honestly, we'll do the job, we'll get the job done, but yeah, let's sleep small, because as creatives, sometimes like you've overworked yourself and you just need some time to relax and then get that energy, recharge, get that energy back, and then focus, like like have the energy back and then bounce back. But then people think that once you start, energy full on. It doesn't work that way. We are humans, we tend to break down. So having like a sleep room makes like a whole lot of difference.
It does.
Just to like maybe just a quick nap. So it doesn't have to be like for really long time. Maybe a quick power nap, 10, 20, 30 minutes, you'll be fine. I think that if a lot of companies employ that will be perfect. Like they should incorporate that into their facilities.
I think that's very true, because see, I've suffered.
You want to share?
I have suffered because I struggle. For example, I struggle with sleeping at work. I can't sleep at work. Like no matter how hard I try, I just can't sleep at work, because once I put my head down, like the noise or like that thing where why is your head even on the table? Like
What do you tend to do then? What would you rather do?
like so I think that one time I tried going to my car to sleep, but I mean my car was so hot. It was so hot, so I had to get out, walk up and down. It was really, really a struggle, honestly. And I think that's a good point, because I mean, power naps are good. It's not like you are sleeping the entire time. It should be regulated. Yes, I think so
absolutely.
too. I was going to ask another question.
Oh, go ahead.
So, apart from what do you call it, planning, or did you say you do planning as well?
I did mention planning. So one thing that I do is I tend to take on a lot of activities. So maybe taking a stroll, painting, listening to music, trying something new, something exciting that will make me even channel my energy into something different, try something that I haven't done before, something that will just make me relax, nothing too stressful or strenuous. That's what I tend to do quite often. And with that, you can even tend to like hone a skill or a talent through that.
Okay, so
Maybe
now
say painting. Yes.
Okay, sorry. So now let's delve into like it be more practical. Someone who is working 9 to 5 and is a mother and probably has dreams of, doing something else. How does that person navigate, the stress level? What would you tell the person to do? Something very practical, because I mean, everything that we've discussed is actually fact, is real. But someone is sitting out there like saying that, okay, I've heard you, but how do I go? Like, what exactly should I do to get that level of, I'm not too stressed, I'm not feeling overwhelmed and all that? Yeah.
Is this mother married?
What'd you say?
Is this mother married?
Probably. I don't know.
Your hypothetical situation.
If she is married,
Not just limited to
mothers,
yes,
but then
people in stressful situations.
I think it's a try and error thing, because what may work for me may not necessarily work for Tiffany. So I would say that explore a lot of options and see what works best for you. So let's say for 9 to 5, there are so many factors to consider. Is it a government job? Is it a private job? Are you working for yourself? Is it a remote job? What's the distance between your house and your workplace? What's your mode of transport? Do you have a driver? There's so many factors to consider. If it's more flexible, or if your job can be moved remotely, then I think some of these stresses can be kept. But then if it's so rigid and it's affecting your health, then maybe you could, and you're a mother too. The children
Come on to another stress.
I mean, you have to it's all about priorities. School fees must be paid. Your feeding, your transport, other utilities must be paid. So you have to think about the goal ahead and your priorities. If you know that with this job, maybe you can secure maybe 10,000 a month, you can try and save as much as you can, invest. And if you want to be there for some time, just plan how you're going to go about things. If you intend to add on another job to make your life more comfortable so that you can outsource, then go for it. Because I mean, who doesn't want comfort or soft life? Everyone wants
Yeah.
soft life, but then soft life is not like just and it's not gotten on a silver platter. You have to work for it.
Yeah.
So if you think that getting like 2 jobs, 3 jobs is going to make your life much easier to reduce the stress, then go for it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so I was also thinking again about the power of community. Because imagine you are that person who wants, to do a number of things, but you don't have enough time. You have family, you have friends. If you can, sometimes ask your friends if they can help with something, because they're your friends. You get it? And I think we should somehow make more room for the people that we care about and the people that we love. So that if they're asking for stuff, it's not feeling like a burden to us, We kind of just make a little room. Because me, if it was me, honestly, I don't like imposing on people. I won't even ask in the first place. And I'm working on that because honestly, it's not the way to go.
Yes.
Because the reason we're here is not even the reason we're here. We're built in such a way that we depend
On
each other.
Yeah.
So I think the power of community is just very, very, it's something that we can't overlook.
Yeah.
And then I think when it comes to managing stress, really, there's no hard and fast rule. But I also believe in the power of prayer, So pray, talk to God about it, and see how it goes. But also, like the things we said, planning, and because maybe let's say this woman is working this job, or someone is doing something, and that's not their goal. That's not where they want to be. You start taking just tiny steps in the direction that you want to go to, and don't put too much pressure on yourself and feel like I have to get there today.
Yes.
I think that's sometimes those are some of the things that put stress on us. It's like we look at other people on social media and say, I want to be just like this person, but you don't know their journey. Sometimes some of these people are 50, they're 60, they're 30 what, and you are really young, but putting so much pressure on yourself because you feel I have to get there today. So just take that pressure off yourself. Take it one day at a time. Build your dream bit by bit. There's some sacrifices you have to make today, but it's not going to last forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think for me, what has really helped me so far, because sometimes I easily get overwhelmed. I'll not say stressed, but overwhelmed. As in, you are just then everything seems so overwhelming. And so what helps me is deliberately like writing down things I would like to do over the weekends. So for example, like I'll literally write a list of places I've seen based on like some of the things you've blogged on social media. And I would say, okay, this Saturday, maybe 15th December or 15th January, I'm going to this place. Like I document everything. Because if you leave yourself to life and all that, you would always be stressed. And I think that it's always good to find out what makes you truly happy and things that, like, don't be afraid to do the things that make you happy. Because yes, there's sleep there, there's rest there, but sometimes even knowing that you have gone to hang out with a friend, or you've gone swimming, or you've gone on like this hiking alone boost your happiness. So that's something that really helps me a lot.
I think that's really good. And I also want to just add on to what you said. So living in the moment also helps. So living on like memories, good memories that you've experienced with maybe family, with friends, with loved ones. It's very important. And when you reminisce on those memories, it makes you feel a certain type of, it makes you happy, and it also reduces down. It cuts down on the stress. So I think we should also learn to live in the moment, that's why you have to document a lot of things. Take videos, take pictures.
Yes.
When you're sad, you can just scroll through your gallery. You'll be fine, honestly. It may not change the situation entirely, but it may put a smile on your face. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
So let's talk about the finding balance, right? That's our very last thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about it in the sense that, is it something that is far-fetched? Is it an imagination? Is it something we can actually achieve?
Is it something that we can achieve?
Yes, to find balance.
I think you can achieve it.
Maybe.
But
there was this movie.
There's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay for everything, honestly. So
there was this movie where the lady was running on this tagline that you can have it all.
Can you really?
That's the thing.
Maybe at the end of your life you'll have it all, but I don't think
Is there a time limit, time frame? Is the person working with deadlines?
Should be.
If you are, then I don't know.
I think at a point you can have it all, but you have to work towards all the things. But the thing is, can you juggle everything at once? Probably not. Sometimes something has to give. Something has to be sacrificed on the altar of for another to thrive, right? So it's almost like having children. Okay, no, I can't use children because you have to give all your children the same level of attention, right? But different things, right, that you are bringing into this world that nobody else can do but you. You start this one, let it grow to a certain age, and then probably at that point, you can now start to give it other people to do. Like a job, when you start a business that you are the founder of, right?
Yeah.
You start it. You can't just leave it and say, oh, somebody should just manage it for you. You have to stay and let it get to a place where it can survive without you. And then you do the same for another thing. You do the same for another thing. And with time, you have an empire, but it doesn't happen at once. You can't start 3 things at the same time and give it the same energy. I don't think it works that way. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. But I think there have been some people who have done that, but I don't know. I think it's in the numbers. If you have people who you can pay to do certain things, then I think you can do a number of things at once. But if you're starting life, you don't really have a lot of resources. I think you just focus one thing on one thing, and then you focus on the next, and with time.
Yeah, and I think that's so important to give yourself grace
Right.
Yeah.
in doing things, because I think when you mentioned that, you start something and you can't get back to it, not because you don't like it, but you just don't have the time to juggle all at once. And I think that's from giving yourself grace that it's not like you are lazy about that thing. That thing just has to happen at a different time.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the struggles, and that causes a lot of stress where people are so hard on themselves that, okay, I need to achieve this. I need to do this by this age. And because of that, like, it's crazy.
By 30, I should be.
If you have your first house, your first car, 2 children, living lavish.
Married and everything.
It doesn't always happen that
doesn't
way.
always
People are
happen.
privileged to have it that way, but not everyone would have it that way.
Everyone's timing is different.
Yeah, everyone's
Yes.
timing is different.
Yeah.
So one other point that I wanted to add was it's okay to seek professional help if you need to, because sometimes you get so overwhelmed and you just need like a professional viewpoint. It's okay. People assume that once you are you say therapy, it's like you're mad. No, not all mad people go to therapy. You don't have to be mad to see a therapist or a psychologist. You just have to seek professional viewpoint, and you might even find out shocking things about yourself that you didn't even know. So it's okay. Just seek the help that you need. It's fine. You'll be okay.
So just in less than a second, just give me yes. Oh no, less than 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Just give us, 2 pointers for someone to take away.
So I would say that just take it one day at a time. We are all going through it, but God did, so we did.
And a second.
More than you overcome it. Honestly, just be gentle on yourself. Give yourself more grace, like Dele said, and you'll be fine. Honestly.
Okay, 2 for you. 1, 2.
Well, I think, honestly, for every dream that you have, there is also given the ability to push through with it. So don't feel like you can't do it. You really can. And so lift those limits of yourself, or that burden that makes you feel like it's too much, because you have the grace for it. And the second thing I'll say is, God will do it.
If I do, you must do it.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you really, really loved it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and share with people around you. Bye-bye.